Alright, update on VeChain. So if we start off with the macro term, drawing our macro fib from the start of the bull run all the way up to the all-time high, I've got this, kind of hidden in the corner down here because I don't like how many fibs there are on the right side of my screen. Nonetheless, the price targets are the exact same either way. You can see we've dropped below our macro 786 once again, so this is really not good in my opinion. The 786, did I say 786 or did I say 618? If I said 618, I meant the macro 786. We've already dropped below this, once or twice before, so the fact that we've broken below it, retested it once, retested it twice, and fallen below it, in my opinion, is not looking good for VeChain. Now, to be completely fair with this, if we're looking at this on the EMA ribbons, we're still holding the daily EMAs. So, in my opinion, as long as we don't close daily candles below 0.06295, which is 6 cent 295, then, I still think that VeChain could have a chance of pushing up in the short term. But if we really look at what's going on right now, this short-term move from low to high, we're below the 236. I mean, this fib is done for. We've really invalidated this to the downside very nastily. And also 786 is invalidated. Bullish momentum is really starting to reset right now on the daily, so it really looks like we want to lose these EMA ribbons. Now, my gut feeling is that we could be pushing below these EMA ribbons, and I kind of think that because Bitcoin has been rejected very harshly off the daily EMAs, and I really am assuming for multiple reasons that Bitcoin could be having a quick fake out slash flush out of the weak hands, moving all the way down to 40,000. That's very much supported with the fact that the squeeze momentum indicator has just started to head to the downside on the daily. So we have lots of momentum that could potentially carry us down 7%, paired with the fact that we're having a brutal showdown with 42.5 right now. If we close below 42.5 again, I have to assume 40,000's coming. And also daily EMAs, been invalidated, or not invalidated, but we're crashing below these. These are going to start to switch short if we keep on lollygagging, hanging around these regions. And I think that's going to have a dire impact on VeChain. So my opinion on VeChain is we're not bearish until, like I said, we start closing below, 6295 roughly, approximately. But if we don't have a strong bounce on these EMA ribbons, then we are going to have to come down and take the lows. I mean, there's nowhere else for us to go. This macro fib 786 is the last line in the sand. So if we came down to sweep the lows, that could potentially be talking about a 40% move to the downside. And the daily, once again, is really losing all its bullish momentum. So in the next 2 days, in my opinion, we will have a decision. Either the squeeze momentum indicator is going to reset and start to head to the upside, and then we can be bullish because we've retested the bottom of these EMAs, or we're going to fire bearish. So we really haven't made a decision right now. So, it's quite hard to call this one. While there's a lot of very 50-50, this is bullish, but this is bearish. So it's quite like a hodgepodge mix of these two bearish and bullish signals that we're seeing right now. But with what's going on in the general market, I have to assume Bitcoin 40,000's on the table, and then I'd have to assume that, I don't assume that Bitcoin would go down 7% and VeChain would only go down about 4%. So I do think this potential move to sweep the lows is very much on the table. If we come down to the lower time frames and see what the 4-hourly is saying, you can see this is really not looking good either. I mean, the 4-hourly squeeze momentum indicator has reset, to the somewhat neutral side, losing its bearish momentum on this retest, and then we've started to pick up the bearish momentum again. So we're not in the clear. Lower time frames are telling me that we are coming down to sweep the lows, and as this bearish momentum has really just started to pick up on the 4-hour, I don't think a 3% move to the downside is going to happen, and I don't think we're going to see something like this and then a quick reversal. I mean, I could be wrong once again, as long as we don't close below this daily EMA ribbon round about 6.3. Let's just call it 6.3, a lot easier to say. So as long as we really don't put daily closes below 6.3, we're still macro bullish. But with what's going on right now, the 4-hourly EMA ribbons fired bearish a few days ago, and we've come crashing into the short-term moving average. We've only recently had this retest on the 4-hour about 12 hours ago. So all in all, it's really not looking too good for VeChain right now. Keep your eyes on the daily EMA ribbons around about 6.3 cent. If we never close below there, so be it. We are still bullish. But my gut feeling is really telling me to be cautious right now because we could be seeing a move to the downside. You can also see we've got something like a, I mean, it looks like a bull flag to me. Could be a bullish or bearish pennant, but we have broken to the downside of this as well. So if we extrapolate a price target, this would put us below the daily EMA ribbons, and if we come over to the daily, this would very much pick up enough momentum if we came down to this price target for these daily squeeze momentum indicators to head bearish. So all in all, I'm really sitting on the sidelines for VeChain. I don't want to say I'm bearish until we start closing below 6.3, but nonetheless, if we do close below 6.3, I have to assume this 40% move to the downside is on the table. In the short term, we've invalidated all these fibs, and I mean, we've taken out this this macro 786, which isn't looking good, and I can be somewhat conservative and cherry pick the data and move it down to the candle body close, providing a tiny bit of hopium. But I think this would line up with what's going on down here anyway. So yeah, I mean, we've got a good level of confluence. Your last line in the sand for the 786 is coming in at basically 6.35, and then once again your daily EMA ribbons come down to 6.3. So we really need to see a reversal by the time we come down to 6.3. If we see a strong reversal, then your moon line is still up here. I was talking about this being a good trade if we take out the 200-day, but all we did is come in, crash into it, and then completely fall off the table. So I never got to enter this trade. I was looking to trade if we took out the 200-day. We got rejected off it, so we are moving down. And what the charts are telling me right now is momentum's really picking up to the downside, and I have to assume that this is really your best case scenario. I think 16% move to the downside is on the table, but I think a 40% move is, very likely, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, which once again I'd be happy to admit if I'm wrong, and I'd be happy to enter a trade, but 6.3 cent needs to hold. If we lose 6.3 cent, then in my opinion we have to start talking about lower price targets. There's nowhere else for us to draw a last line in the sand. The micro uptrend's been invalidated, the macro uptrend has been invalidated, unless I'm drawing to candle close. So we're really coming into a decision time right now. Once again, I'm not saying we are bearish, I'm not saying that I'm shorting right now, because I'm not buying or selling right now. I'm really sitting on the sidelines. I'm hoping that my gut feeling's wrong and we're going to have a bounce off 6.3 and have a strong push up, because I'd be looking to trade above this 200-day, but the momentum indicators are really telling me that we need to have a reversal today or tomorrow, otherwise this is going to flip bearish. So that is all I see for VeChain. Yeah, best of luck if you're in VeChain. Once again, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.